Welcome to The John Show with your hosts, John Doogie Clouser.
All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Clouser. Just hitting the mic, just making sure it's hot. Can't really hear myself. That's why I was like, am I even on? Am I on? Is this going? So what's up? How are you? So this is episode 208. Just curious if my dog's going to eat that. So, when Lola was a puppy, she absolutely loved ice cubes, right? And even when she was like, she couldn't even eat them, she would just like lick the hell out of it. When she still had her puppy teeth. And so, she just had an ice cube. Like, I hadn't been getting her ice cubes in a while because normally what she would do is she just kind of like fuck with it for a second, and then leaves it. And then it just melts, and I'm just like, all right, well, I have to clean up a mess. So I was just curious, because she just left it, walked away, came back, and can you guys hear that? What's funny is, like, that's completely okay with me. I'm like, I'll have that be on the podcast all day, every day. But God forbid if there's a sound of, like, like the AC or something like that goes... Like, hell no. No, not a chance in hell. But anyway, how are you guys? You guys doing well? Doing swell? Drinking coffee? Drink a whole pot of coffee today. Crazy. Got this creamer. It was like honey cinnamon. I feel like I'm just drinking like Cinnamon Toast Crunch in my coffee, and it's just a little too sweet. It's like, okay. Interesting, very interesting. Well, I guess this will do. It was like $2.36. You know, I become a coupon person, so it's fucking hilarious. I don't even know why I do it to myself. There's really no need to do it. I just think it's fun. Now it's another little game I get to play. It's like personal chess against the world, where I just find coupons, and I'm like, oh, even this is something that I probably would not ever use, but I'm like, oh, well, I might as well just go ahead and, get a little bit extra stuff of this. Like, I would normally not use this brand, but hell, this time I will just try this brand because I'll get $3 off, or I get buy one, get one free. It's a great world that I choose to live in now. It's weird, but it's all about little things in this world, just small little wins, right? Just small little wins. Oh, man. So, I don't know what I did. Last night, I slept, I think because I fell asleep on the couch. And, she left the ice cubes. Oh, she's over here in the corner. What are you doing, Lola? So, last night I fell asleep. I think because I fell asleep on the couch weird. And, dude, my neck is like wrenched today. It's been quite painful, to tell you the truth. But yeah, we're getting through this. We're doing this. This is the last thing I got to do today. I take that back. I have to do this, and then I have to cook my meals for next week, which is always a fun thing to do. What's on the menu, you ask? Oh, I'm glad you asked. I'm so glad you asked. So I usually do two simple things, nothing too crazy. Always rice, and then I do rice and chicken, or I do rice and ground beef. This week, what I'm doing is I'm doing rice and chicken, and I'm like, you know what? Why am I buying chicken, normal chicken? I'm like, why don't I just buy like the frozen? And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, because you can get it like for $8, and you get like 3 pounds for $8. It's like that. Maybe it's because it's the water, but any way you look at it, it's like all I do is I'm just going to cook it, put it in the oven, cook it. After it's cooked, season it, chop it up, and portion out on top of rice with broccoli. Like, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm like, this seems like this makes more sense to me. I'm just going to do this, try this out and see if it works for chicken. Because then, guess what? The mess is a lot less. That is the whole point. I can't stand chicken. I worked in the culinary world for years. And the one thing I hate more than anything is just chicken juice, chicken shit, because then you have to clean it. You got to be careful because you don't want cross contamination. And maybe maybe just because maybe I'm the only one in this whole fucking world that it takes that goddamn stuff. Like when you take the service test, to get your food handler license, like you have to, like you learn that, hey, the number one thing that happens of illnesses, what happens is it's foodborne illnesses. But everyone's like, John, you just take it too seriously. Maybe you just take it seriously. It's like, no, I don't just take it way too seriously. You don't take it serious enough. And this is like the same thing. This is a great little segue to something. Like, people who work in the culinary world, please don't walk around with your goddamn chef jacket. Like, why it's so fucking gross. Like, you go, you work in your chef jacket. You then go and you're like, oh, I'm done with work, and you leave it on, and then you put your jacket on over it, and you go home, and God knows what you do, how long ever it was. You maybe just throw it on the ground, and maybe you hang it up. Either way you look at it, that's gross. That thing should not ever go back into that fucking kitchen. And two, why in the Frenchman fuck would you want to have a chef jacket on, be wearing that all day, smell like all this different foods, and then put your own jacket on, and now that jacket's going to just reek of food? It's gross. Like, it's just such a gross thing. And people look at me like, oh, John, why is this so weird? It's like, I have a bullshit job now, and I change. I go there, I'll have street clothes on. I go there, I change in my work clothes. After work, I change out of it, put my street clothes back on, I leave. And it's because I worked in a kitchen, so like I'm so used to just having like I don't want to have these smelly clothes that smell like food on after being in a kitchen all day. Like, I'm just good. I'm good on that. But no, clearly I'm weird. I'm weird because I'm the only one that does that. But yet everyone walks around in the goddamn chef jacket, and it's fucking creepy. It's crazy to me because it's like you see someone who doesn't have a chef jacket on out in the back, like just a pair of jeans and a t-shirt on, you're like, and you're cooking my food like with just a pair of like rubber gloves on. You're like, what the fuck? Weird. Put a chef jacket on that person. Okay, looks normal. Looks like a normal person that should be in that kitchen. Boom. You walk outside. You see someone just wearing a chef jacket. You're like, what the fuck are you doing wearing that chef jacket out here? Like, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me because I just think of all the sicknesses and the illnesses. And my Lola is up. She is hard. Do you want up on here? You want here? You on my lap? You on my lap? Oh. Hi. Well, I just got disconnected. Didn't I, Lola? Yeah, she's been like this. She's been super needy lately the last couple days. It's hilarious to me because she's just like super nosy into everything I do now. Oh, because of it's just funny. Aren't you? Isn't it funny, Lola? So yeah, like that's the thing. It's just so fucking weird. It is absolutely weird. Am I becoming this weird person now? I just saw myself in the camera or in the screen. It's like, am I gonna be this person now? I'm gonna be telling stories and I'm gonna have this dog in my lap. It's like, how creepy is this? Like, this is the last thing anyone would want to listen to. Last thing people want to listen to anyway. So, but this is Lola. She's so great, isn't she? Aren't you, Lola? Aren't you? She needs a haircut though. She's she is quite a mess right now. It's so funny. She was just asleep 20 minutes ago when I got up because I took a little nap before I started this podcast. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take a little nap, do the podcast, and then after that, I'll cook, and then I'll be done for the day. And she was dead asleep. She's been dead asleep since we went on WALK. Can't say the word because she'll freak out, and then she'll want to go on another one. But yeah, so you just do this. This is what a lot of life was. Like I think about stuff, and she sits on my lap like this, and I just rub her chest. And then I can't like put my arm down because then she'll start licking on it, and that just so. This is life. This is what we do. This is just what we do here in my little humble abode. Ain't that right, Lola? Ain't that right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like I tell everyone, you should get a dog. Get a dog. It's one of the best things in the world. It's the best things that can happen. You'll gain a love of something that you never thought you could. I never thought I could love something more than this little pup. It's so funny, doesn't she? She never wants to look into the camera. So Lola, you haven't really picked up you know, you used to run do you still run the numbers in this town? Do you? She's like, shut the fuck up, dog. I guess she does. She just doesn't talk about it because I never see her. I guess it's probably you do it at a different time, don't you? Whenever we used to go on walks before, it's a hilarious thing I like to joke about is that she runs the numbers, so she has to go and when she sniffs at places, she's getting her number money, and so, but hey, look at her. She never would like whenever I overdo this, like it's always I have to grab her and bring her up here. And this is the one time. It's hilarious. She's just an adorable dog. What's the one thing is like what I've noticed, the older that she gets, you went down? Okay. It's funny, like the older she gets, like every night I have to have like a chill time with her where it has to be like an hour and a half where like I just sit on the couch. She'll either like come and lay next to me or she lays on top of me. And then what's funny today is that she came over when I was taking a nap. She came over and took a nap on me and then lay down. And she fell asleep with like she was on her back and her back part was on my stomach. And the other half of her was like off on the couch. It's quite adorable. You're quite adorable little dog, aren't you, Lola? That's how you get connected, though. They say that's how you connect. One of the best ways to connect is like when you take naps with your dog, I guess, because they're packed animals. So, and if you ever notice like why your dog might point one direction versus you point another direction, you might like, and the reason why that is like we want facial connection, but what it is that's not smart out in the wild because they're technically wolves. What it is, it's like you protect this way, you look this way, I look this way, and it's a way of like protecting the herd while we sleep. It's very interesting. I love how I've been able to do almost I've done half this podcast, and I've literally said damn near nothing. I'm like 13 minutes in, I've said nothing. I'm a little congested. I'm just a little slightly congested. Oh man, so what do we have on my list of stuff? Like it's so great, like because I have like this computer, this big screen right in front of me. Never once thought about having using it as my prop list. I just was like, oh, I'll use a small little screen that has a timer on it. See the timer? Don't you love that? Like those people that are like those makeup people that do that. It's like, okay, that's great. And now she's back in here with the toy. What's so good is like the older she gets, I'm starting to use like certain words. Lola, we're back on talking to Lola about Lola. Is that she has like I can use like certain words and like she'll use that for her TREAT. Can't use that word either because if I say that word she'll start barking. She barks on that. She gets real exciting, don't you? Don't you, Lola? Don't you? She wants to play so bad. It's like, dude, I gave you a 2-mile WALK today. And it was like, I would have given it longer, but it was sunny. It's a sunny day out, but it's only right now. It was like 27, 29 degrees when we were out there. So I'm like, Lola, we've only been out here for 40 minutes. It's like, we should probably get home. I'm more worried about your paws than anything. Oh. So, but yeah, it's a thing. I guess it's like interesting. So like I have a dog. Maybe it's because I have a dog in my life that it's so it blows my mind when I see homeless people. And then I'm not talking. I shouldn't. I feel like this is such a low hanging fruit. I'm punching down, and I'll admit that. I feel like that's what I'm doing, and so maybe that's why I feel kind of gross about doing it. But it's like it's annoying. Like I don't understand how. I don't understand I could never give money to a homeless person that has like a dog. It's like it's one thing to ruin your life and do whatever you want. Maybe, and that's the thing is like I don't know what your story is. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know how you got homeless. I don't know why you got why you're homeless. I don't know how long you have been homeless. All I know is like it's so weird to see someone who's homeless have a dog. It's like you're gonna ruin this animal's life too, this other living creature, because you choose to do whatever you do to be homeless. That maybe you're just like maybe you're just hitchhiking across the country. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think that's the case all the time. So very interesting. That's funny. So I think well, I don't think I did. I left the freezer door open because we have a pull one because like the two front doors and the bottom part. And I left it open and the ice tried to come out and then it went on the floor. Some of it went on the floor. Maybe that's what Lola was trying to tell me. She's like, "Hey, dumbass, you left the door open in the kitchen. You know, the one room that I can't go in." Yeah, this is the only room in the house that she's not allowed to go in is the kitchen. It's like no, 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 no. Your little paw should not be coming onto this floor. No way, no how. Right, Lola? Ain't that right? It first started because the first house was just because how the kitchen was laid out into the like went from the living room to the kitchen. It was just like you can't. There was like no, 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 Lola, you're gonna get hurt because she was so tiny. And so it was more or less getting, I just didn't want to step on her. And then when this new house, it was mostly because it's just, there's two ways to coming into the kitchen. You just block those off and then just whenever, she just stands at the edge of it all the time and just looks in. It's quite hilarious. But this is life, guys. This is life. This podcast is pretty dull. Do 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 do. What? I'm just reading one of the things I said. So, I don't get chain wallets, and I don't get beds that those new beds that make you cool and stuff. Bands. Wear less clothing and blankets, you dumb polar bear. What? Oh, man, you can tell some of these things I was just thinking like when I was like, I'm like working out. I'm doing something where it's like strenuous. And then so like my brain is going in weird places. And this next one's like, I just can't take anyone seriously who uses a pussy pad when they squat. It's like it's supposed to hurt because it's true. Because I remember I was doing deadlifting that day, and I was like at 265 or something like that. And I'm like, I did it 6 times. I was like, oh no, this is like this. I should have done that. I should have been able to get that like 8. Granted, it's just like, what's the big difference between getting it 6 versus 8? What is it really? What is it changing in life? It's not, but it's just in the mindset of like, well, like I'm here, I'm working out. I should let's try to hit these goals, these little small goals, to get it to a bigger goal, to a big goal. Because you know what they say, like you can't get thick unless you want to like actually lift weights. You have to lift heavy weight if you want to gain some sort of plumpness in your body. It's just part of the thing. Like it's so funny. Like people are like, I don't want to. I don't work out because I don't want to get too big. It's like, you know how long it's going to take you to get really big. Like your body naturally does not want to do this. Like it's kind of weird, but it's necessary that we do some sort of activity. But is it odd? Is it odd to lift a lot of weight all the time, to spend 3 hours in a gym? Yeah, a little bit. You know, it's a little. You know, you just have to prioritize it. It's all it's all whatever. But but what's so funny is, this is the smallest I've been weight wise, and like the most weight I've been able to lift. And I'm like, this is the oldest I've ever lived. Ain't that crazy? Like, oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just like trying to get this down. It's so funny. Yeah, it's like, it's just, here I am, right? Here I am doing a podcast. What else do I have to say? What else? Oh, I'm just like, oh, because I read these little things, and dude, I've been really watching a lot of pimple popping videos. Don't know why I'm into this. Why it's so fucking hilarious to watch this shit. It's like some of this stuff's like, do y'all not wash your face? Do you not? Or is it like that your skin just naturally is like? There's no way. There's a level of a point. Like I can understand. You know, maybe it's just genetics and you just have bad oily skin. I understand that, but there's some of it that's like, it just seems like there's no way you can get that many blackheads. You have to just not be washing your face. There has to be a level of just not washing your face. And then you're like, boom, 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 boom. It's like it's oh, holy crap. And it just like blows your mind that like so much could be built up in one little area. It's like, so it's like some of them be like, there's no way that's real. Like that's such a huge pimple. That's such a huge zit or a cyst or something. What is it? Is there a difference between a zit and a cyst? Let's or a sty? Is it a sty? Is there a difference between a pimple and a zit? Okay. And a zit. Zits and pimples are the same thing, and they're used interchangeably. Is there a difference between a pimple and a sty or a cyst? Cysts, these are pimples filled with a thick yellow or white filled with dead it's just dead white blood cells. Oh, that's why they're white. That makes sense. So they're just white blood cells. That's weird. That's crazy. I did not know that. That actually makes sense now when you think about it. Kind of makes sense. It's like, oh yeah. Wow. Do you ever think about, like, that's how dumb I am. Sometimes you're like, oh, that seems like that was pretty low hanging. And I should have gotten that earlier in my life. I shouldn't be 35 and now just getting that. Oh, well. Pay my taxes. Anyway, and you just move on with your life. You just continue on. You just like, all right, well, I guess that's what we're doing. Well, again, every week I try to teach you guys something more and more. And I feel like I did that. I did. I taught you guys something there. But yeah, so this is where. How about those Chiefs, winning the Super Bowl? I don't think last time I talked to you guys, it was right before the game. Was it before the game or was it after the game? I don't know. I don't remember really. I think I recorded it a day before the game. I think it was like I recorded it on Saturday. Maybe, I don't know. It's weird because my schedule changed again, and now I have like Saturday and Sunday off at the same time. It's crazy. For the next 3 weeks, I have Saturday and Sunday off. It's going to be insane to have those 2 days off back to back. It's weird. It's so weird to have these days off. But anyway, that's where we're at. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing something to make yourself better. I'm always doing stuff. I'm always putting my foot in my mouth all the goddamn time. It's a real good. It's a funny life I live. Just discovered too, being able to like wear a t-shirt, tuck it in, wear a hoodie, and then wear a bigger shirt over that hoodie. Just discovered this being a thing. Don't mind it. Because I was gonna change and wear something else, but I like this. This is a cool look. I look like a moron, but I'm like, I'm 35. Like, can I do this? I'm 35. Like, should I be? I feel like I should just be wearing polos and like quarter zip ups, like, and sweaters with those polos. I feel like that's where my life should be at. I feel like this is where it should be. It shouldn't be here. I feel like I'm beyond this now. I really do. I feel like I should be wearing. It should be polos. If I'm not, if I'm about to go play golf, it's either like, the athletic polo pants, athletic, golf pants, a polo and a hat, and then like an athletic a 3/4 zip. And then if I'm not, and I'm just like out in the world, I should be wearing khakis. I can wear like a pair of like nice Nikes, khakis, pair of nice Nikes, white socks, a polo tucked in, and then wear like a sweater over it, or a 3/4 zip, like a wool 3/4 zip, something like that, and have my hair slicked over to the side. Like I feel like that's how you should. I don't know, just you look nice. I don't know why I like looking uniformed. It's hilarious. It's just a funny thing with me. I like you looking uniformed and just being like, all right, it is easier too. It's like less thinking. I rather think about, because like I'd rather have a lot of my thoughts be like this. Have to make, I make a podcast and have to think about how I want to talk, and I clearly failed this week. Clearly failed. Shouldn't have took that nap before this podcast, even though it feels good though. It's like the coffee's just now kicking in. I'm like really mellow. These are not the best podcasts, because I'm not that kind of guy. If I'm gonna be on this, I need to be screaming and yelling. But I got his dog that's asleep behind me. Actually, she's just gnawing on her back paw. Real cute. This is where we're at, guys. Yeah. So I don't know. What is it? I was watching a video about like the WNBA and how they don't want to lower the rim to be able to slam dunk, but I don't understand why they don't want to do it, because their argument is like they don't want to be compared to being, they don't want to compare themselves to the NBA with like the slam dunks and stuff like that, but then they want to compare themselves with like money and stuff. But even with like compensation, that's still like things like you're still comparing yourself to men. It's a whole sexist thing, and I think it's just like lesbians, understandably, that don't like men, which is fair, understandable. I get it. I think it's something like that, and it's something way deeper, and it's not my fucking war or battle to be involved in. I just think it's hilarious that this is. I'm like, really? This is what you guys are really upset by this? I'm like, whatever. I'm like, this is crazy. We'll just do this. But yeah, this is kind of where we're at, guys. Doing things, living life. I have about 45 seconds left, and Lola is up, and she's like, yep, I know he's about done with this fucking show. He's got to be. And yeah, so if you've gotten this far, thank you. God knows you haven't. Again, good practice, isn't it? It's always good practice. You should be doing stuff even when no one's watching. That's where champions are made. That's what I keep hearing all the goddamn time. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this cinnamon toast crunch tasting coffee, and I'm gonna go cook my food for the week. All right, be safe. Do your own version of a podcast. Do something that makes yourself better at something. That's the name of the game. At the end of the game, have no shame in your game, and just do something that makes you happy. Try to be happy a little bit, a little. All right, bye.